Hey, grade 10 class. So, um, this is the second video. We are now gonna go through a little bit of the business textbook. Hope you guys have it with you. We are looking at the different sections, and then from there we will go into some other activities that we can do. But first of all, look at section 1 right up to section number 6. Okay, so we've got a total of 6 sections over here and practice for you to get ready for examinations next year. It's important that after looking at these exam papers that you guys have done, some of you definitely need a lot more foundational work. So this is a good time to practice from there so that you don't write down funny kinds of answers in your exams. Really important stuff. So first of all, look at section 1. Section 1 is foundational stuff. We're looking at business activity, classification of businesses, enterprise, business growth and size, types of business organization, and then business objectives and stakeholder objectives. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly look at some, what's that thing called? Um, summary, yeah, summary of these units, and I'll go through that with you guys. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, so this is what we're gonna look at right now. um Let me see here. Okay, so let's look at this over here. We're gonna look at the mind map for section 1. Okay, and if you look at the mind map for section 1, it kind of looks something like this, right? It should look something like this. Business activity, right? Okay. Now, I'm just gonna keep it like this for a little while so we can just show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay. So first of all, section 1, all right, we're looking at business activity, purpose of business activity. Okay, we've got meeting the needs of customers at a profit, combining factors of production, add value. So that's the main purpose of business activity. And we're looking at needs of consumers. Okay, some basic examples of needs for consumers, right? Water, food, clothing, shelter. Quite straightforward stuff. I'm not going to go into that too much. Factors of production. Okay, land, labor, capital, enterprise. Also pretty straightforward stuff. Okay, this is all found in your section 1. Okay, section 1, unit 1. Here we look at section 1, unit 2. Look at classification of business, and we have business activities classified by sector. So we've got 3 sectors, right? Primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. 1, 2, and 3, right? Uh, I think most of you kind of understand this. If you are not too sure about it, do let me know. We have business in a mixed economy. So mixed economy, this did not show up in the exam, but it may come up later on. But mixed economy is basically a combination of private and public sector corporations. And under the private sector, you have both unincorporated businesses and incorporated businesses, right? Um, but you also have market economies where it's only the private sector and does not include the public sector. Or you may have organizations like centralized economy, which may be completely public and no private sector. Right, that's kind of like your communistic kind of economy. Um, then we have private sector organizations. These are the various kinds of private sector organizations. You guys should know this, right? Foundational stuff. Enterprise, business growth and size. We've got skills of an entrepreneur. So these are some of the main characteristics of entrepreneurs. This is stuff as well that you should basically know. These are things that will show up as business theory. Okay. And then contents of a business plan, items that will be listed out in a business plan. Also, stuff that you should know, foundational stuff. Measuring business size, like I mentioned in the previous video, we do not use profit to measure size, but we talk about capital employed, number of employees, value of output, market share, right? The fifth one they mentioned in the marketing scheme is sales, right, or revenue. Ways business grow, okay? So we have internal growth, external growth. There are three types of external growth. You have horizontal, vertical, and conglomerate integration. Your vertical integration, we have backward and forward, meaning from primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector, or tertiary sector backwards down to primary sector. Okay, if you guys need further clarification about that, let me know. Finally, in unit number four, oh sorry, not finally, unit number four, types of business organization, we have these various kinds. Okay, so this is where you got to be very, very careful, right? Because some of you got this mixed up. Under limited companies, public limited companies sell shares to the general public. Private limited companies sell shares to family or friends, all right? Sole traders and partnerships are unlimited liability. Okay, only these two over here, private and public limited companies, fall under the category of limited liability companies. Okay, all right. These companies over here, these examples are usually private limited. Okay, or they could be public limited. It really depends, but usually there will be some kind of limited company, right? But this is where you need to remember because a lot of you made some mistakes there. Okay, we're looking at the next part here, which is unit number 5. Business objectives and stakeholder objectives. Okay, so this showed up in the exam as well. Remember, we had survival, profit, growth, market share, and CSR or corporate social responsibility. So this is stuff that you need to remember as well. Smart objectives. Okay, this doesn't really show up in the exam, but it's good information as well. Right, specific, measurable, achievable, agreed, realistic, relevant, and time specific kind of goals or objectives to have. Doesn't really show up in an exam. Okay, business stakeholders. Okay, this one was where we were looking at shareholders in the exam. So shareholders fall under one type of stakeholder, um, and they are concerned about dividends, right? Managers will be concerned about their um, job security, about the salaries they receive, bonuses, promotions, things like that. Employees will be concerned about wages, job security, working conditions. And you have all these people here, which are all external stakeholders. Customers concerned about lowest prices possible, highest quality. Suppliers want payments on time. Lenders want payments on time as well. Local community want them to be ethical, want them to have positive externalities. The government wants to receive tax on time and that jobs will be created for people. These are all foundational stuff you need to remember. Now, these items here are basically from section 1, okay, and they cover like the basics of business, okay, like the type of businesses, why are they developed that way, why are they important, things like that. So you got to remember that stuff. Now the other aspect which I noticed that a lot of you had kind of difficulty with in regards to like the exam paper would be putting in information that has to relate with like specific key terms, things like that. Now, it's important that you take a look at your business textbook. Look at the last page of your business textbook. Okay, not really the last page, but towards the end, you would find this section that includes all of the key terms. Okay, I'm going to show it to you guys right now. It's called the glossary. Okay, over here, look at that, page 362. All of this, everything here, these are the ways that you describe your answers in your business examinations. Don't use other words. Use these words to describe those specific points that you're referring to. So, for example, if they're going to say, if you're going to talk about things like revenue or sales, you have to use the word revenue, right? You don't use the word uh, from earning money from people. Don't use stuff like use words like the business earns revenue from customers. So you have to be very careful with the kind of stuff because if you if you don't take note of it and you consistently keep doing it over and over again, then you're not really learning anything. You're just repeating the same mistake, hoping to get better grades, better marks, but you won't unless you make changes so that your work gets better from there. Okay. I'm gonna go through the next part, which is section number two, very quickly. Um, Let me see over here. Section number two. Let's see. Section number two, mind maps. Okay, you guys would probably have this as well. I remember printing this out for you, and this is what it looks like. Okay, this is the mind maps for section number two. Okay, section number two, unit number six, motivation of workers, various methods of motivating workers. Okay, a well motivated workforce will have these things. These are the things that will be good about a well motivated workforce. Low absenteeism, meaning they don't well, not turn up to work. Okay, lower labor turnover. They don't leave work. They don't leave the business. They become more competitive. The business becomes more competitive. Better quality goods and services because they are doing a better quality job, right? Improve productivity. So we've got three motivational theories here: the Taylor, Maslow, and Herzberg theory. Taylor focusing on economic man, that all people are motivated by money alone. Maslow focusing on hierarchy of needs, which will be these five items over here: physiological, safety, social, esteem, and finally self-actualization. And then you've got the Herzberg theory, which is the two-factor theory, includes hygiene factors and the motivators. I'm not going to go through all of this stuff in detail with you guys, but what I'm doing here is I'm going through it very briefly so that you guys can remember it, because it seems like for some of you, you may have forgot some of this stuff. It's good to just have a quick refresher. If you need more time, pause the video, read through it, look at it in detail so you can understand further. All right. Um, so financial methods of motivation. So these are the various types of financial rewards you can do, right? Hourly wage rate, salary, piece rate, bonus schemes, fringe benefits, profit sharing, all of it having to do with some financial method of motivation. Then these are non-financial methods, which would be things like job rotation, enlargement, enrichment, quality circles, team working, and delegation, right? No money involved. Okay, we got features of an organizational structure. Okay, so this is things that came out in the exam, right? Hierarchy came up in the exam, chain of command came out in the exam, span of control came out in the exam. So you gotta make sure that you write down answers that are similar to this, because this is what the examiners are looking for, right? Functions of management, right? Planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, controlling. PO3C. P, O, and three C's, right? Leadership styles: autocratic, democratic, laissez-faire. I don't remember this coming out in the exam, but it's important stuff to remember. It does show up in other exams though. Benefits of being a trade union member. Okay, I don't remember this showing up in the exam as well, but these are important things to remember as well. It helps you with your understanding of how the workers can be protected by a trade union, right? See over here. Yeah, okay. Recruitment, selection, and training of workers. Okay, so this I think showed up mainly in the context of the business investing into technology. Now, because of the investment in technology, there may be opportunity for training. So we have two types of training: internal and external. The benefits and limitations of external and benefits and limitations of internal are right here. Pretty straightforward stuff, right? If you have questions, ask me. I will be more than happy to help you. Then we have methods of training: induction, on the job, and off the job. All right, induction is introduction training. On the job is where they train while they're at work, and off the job is when they train when they are in a training center or college or university. Off the job training. Okay. Reasons for terminating employees. This didn't really show up in the exam, but it's also good stuff to remember. Okay, legal controls over employment issues. Okay, I think if I'm not mistaken, some of this came out in the exam. Yeah, so these are things that the business must have, or legal or laws, or protection from the government for workers, right? So you have protection against unfair dismissal, you have minimum wage rates that are given implemented by the government, health and safety laws, uh, discrimination and anti-discrimination laws against things like age, gender, race, religion, stuff like that. And contract of employment, you must have a contract. Without a contract, it's not a legal employment, right? So those are laws. They are implemented by the government to protect employees. Okay, we've got benefits of effective communication here. This did kind of show up in the exam a little bit, so these are important things to remember as well. Always remember, feedback is one of the most important factors that make communication effective. Okay, various kinds of communication methods here. Quite straightforward stuff as well. Barriers to communication, also pretty straightforward. Okay, you can read it a little bit if you like. Problems of ineffective communication. Okay, so this is the issues that come from poor communication, right? And so that's basically section 2. Okay, now I don't want to like take too much time and go through the entire textbook. What you need to do is you need to read through those sections, understand the sections for yourself, so that you can um, build a stronger foundation from where you're at. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys something to work on, and what I need to do is answer the questions and then pass those answers back to me via the group. Okay, and I will look through the questions, and then we'll discuss answers probably in the chat group. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Okay, um, because we are supposed to be working on past year papers, I will most likely put a link in this video description to a past year paper. Okay, and what you are going to do is uh, download that and work on it. Okay, either a past year paper, or I'll put a link to like some kind of exam question, uh, and you can answer from there. All right. So if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, and I will see you at the next video. Bye bye.